After the class, were you like, okay, L.A. for me?
No, well, that's not true. I thought, well, that got canceled, but I should probably stick around here I now have a bed in LA, see what happens. But then the writer's strike happened.
Oh, boy.
And all work kind of dried up.
Yeah.
So I was going back and forth to New York, and I was doing a workshop of actually a musical version of the movie Elf as the Will Ferrell part.
Oh,
and
that's,
so,
you know what, were you the oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of the Santaland Diaries.
Oh, yeah. Which I also did when I was young.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
oh,
the David
great.
Sedaris piece, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was workshopping this musical, and so I was like, well, this I'll probably end up back in New York doing that.
Yeah.
And then when the strike ended, I got a script of a new show called Do Not Disturb. It was kind of an upstairs downstairs sitcom about a hotel, and I was in the downstairs. You know, they put the ugly people downstairs.
Oh,
no,
honey.
I know, but it's true. And that show got canceled after I think 3 or 4 episodes. It had terrible ratings, and I was like, this isn't gonna last.
Yeah.
And the next season was Modern Family. So I went from the show that was canceled first of the entire season to the show that won the Emmy. So I went right from the bottom to the top, which is crazy.
How soon after the debut, the premiere of Modern Family, did you feel your life? Because I imagine your life changed dramatically, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we got all this Emmy love after our first season, and that felt really crazy. I was never expecting that for myself. I kind of saw it maybe happening for Eric and Ty, but you know they really showered all of us with a lot of love, and I was like, oh, this is resonating in a way that I don't even think I understand.
Wow.
But the thing about this business is you're always like looking for the pink slip. It's constantly a career of being fired or being let go or things just disappearing. And so I think, especially in the theater, I mean, like you never have a job for too long in the theater.
Yeah.
So I just didn't have it. It wasn't part of my psyche that this was going to be something that would be a consistent job. And I think it was even like season 4 or 5. I was like, okay, I think we're okay now. But yeah, it ended up being a job that lasted for 11 years, which is just unheard of. In this business. So,
was that long enough? Too long? The perfect?
It might have been a little too long, but I'm happy we did that. I think there was an opportunity to end after season 10. And I'm just really happy that we got to do one last season, knowing that it was going to be our last season, because it gave us that year to sort of say a really long, slow goodbye.
Right.
And just enjoy it and really take it all in.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for the 11th year, but I think probably we were all exhausted.
Yeah.
I don't think we did anything super revolutionary in that last year. But I'm glad that fans are. I think we're happy that we gave him one more year, and it certainly was. I made some more money, which is great.
Yeah. I imagine. Yeah.
I think the writers were kind of like, oh yeah, okay, all right. What have we got? It's a lot of episodes that they have to come up with.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is there something in your mind to do something with your career that will top Modern Family? Like, is that it's something, a thought that you've actually sort of formulated?
I don't know if anything will top it necessarily, but I mean, a nice companion piece would be great.
Yeah.
I just did a play on Broadway, and I won a Tony Award for it. So it's like, that was coming from, if we're like gonna fast forward to.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. But if like you rewind back to the beginning of this conversation, where like I was just a kid who wanted to do theater and be in the ensemble of Les Miserables, like then I won a Tony Award. So it's like, for me, that was a moment that when it was happening, I was like, okay, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
and that whole experience of that play of Take Me Out was a career highlight for me. I just, I got to do so much with Modern Family, but I didn't get to use my full toolbox. And there is this character that I got to play in this play was, it was multi-layered in ways that just you can't do on a sitcom.
Yeah.
The audiences aren't interested in super multi-layered characters in sitcoms. They kind of want prototype.
Right.
So it felt really good after 11 years of doing something, where your episodes are crammed into 22 minutes to do this like two and a half hour play where you get to really explore a character. It was really liberating. And it opened up my desire to do things that surprise people. I would love to do something more dramatic. I love it. When Modern Family started, there was no streaming platforms.
Yeah.
It was just all network television. So I love that I felt like I came out of a bunker when Modern Family was done. I was like, where are we? What is going on? What is this industry now? And I love that there's so much great content out there, and that you don't necessarily have to be tied down to this contract that will last you another 11 years.
Yeah. If you had to choose stage, TV, or movies?
Well, I'm in a lucky position because I've made some money doing TV, because again, you don't make a living wage for very long doing theater. But I do love. For me, it's always will be theater first.
Yeah.
If you're asking me like what fills my soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what fills my bank account is something different.
What do you think? There's obvious differences, but what is it about the theater that speaks to you more so than filmed?
It's
at work?
Eric Stone Street would always make fun of me on Modern Family because I would love to rehearse and he's like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Just tell us where to go and we'll just do it.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's an improv guy.
He's an improv guy. He's great at that.
Yeah.
And with theater, you get this long rehearsal process, and you really get to figure these people out and really study the material, and you have these long discussions with the other actors about it, and it feels just so rich. And then, with television and film, you do something, you do a day of work, and then an editor takes it and kind of Frankensteins it together into this performance that ends up being on television or on film. And in theater, you are the editor. It's one long take, and you're just with the audience for that long take, and no other audience will ever see that long take again.
Yeah,
that performance, that's gonna be unique to that day. And there's just something so special and electric about that, to be in a room with all these strangers watching something that will never happen the same way again.
Yeah.
We do the same play. The words are mostly the same unless someone changes them. Or Jesse Williams would always go up on his lines. He would just forget what he was saying and make shit up. I was like, that is not what the playwright wrote. But we're still on the track, so good for you.
Yeah.
But it's that performance just takes place in that moment. I think that's so special.